So I'm going to show you how to make the engine sound for a SCATPACK Dodge Charger, or more specifically, a 6.2 liter Hemi V8. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our control surfaces. So go to here and add control surface, insert one, control surface. All right. So we're going to start a knob. I like to use this one because it kind of looks close to a speed dial. So kind of one I like to use. And then we're going to name it RPM. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to link our tempo to the RPM, the tempo to this dial, because the tempo is going to represent the revolutions per minute, right? Get it? The tempo is going to translate to our RPMs, our revolution per minute. So that's what we're going to link this to this, and that's the first thing we're going to do. Go here, link to controller. That's this thing right here. And then we're going to go to where it says internal controller and link to surface RPM. Right. And then in the input function, the formula we're going to type in is input 057. All right, we're going to accept. That's going to be our RPMs. Now, see how the numbers going up as we're doing it? Yeah. We're going to make an additional control surface. You can put it all on one control surface, but I like to make separate ones just to keep things organized. You know what I mean? So I'm going to make another knob. It doesn't really matter what the knob looks like. You can just make your own, but I'm going to use these. I'm going to make two. Okay. So this knob is going to be our upshift. We're going to name this one upshift. Then we're going to name this one Excel decel. All right, now, so we've got all our knobs, and now we're going to get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to packs, and we're going to go to drums, snares, and we're going to look for FPC snare 1. This is the one you want to grab right here. All right, drag this up. Now, you want your first revolution sound. You want your revolution sounds to be tight, right? You don't want them to be like, you don't want them to have a lot of fat on them. So I'm going to turn this all the way to 100, and then we're going to turn the sample and offset length. It's at 100. We're going to set it all the way down to 14%. Then for the pitch, I'm going to adjust the value to about 6, and then we're going to change the pitch to negative 388 cents. So try to see if, get it as close as you can. If you can't get it to 388, that's fine. That's what the original FLP has. We got it to 387. That's close enough. Now, for this part, we're going to tighten all of this up, right? So envelope. Tack filter all the way down. Delay filter, you can just leave that. Envelope volume, make sure it's on volume. Hold to 9%. Decay to 7%. Sustain to 0. It should be at 31% already. If not, just set it there. These are the base settings. And now what you want to do is clone these 4 times. You want 5 of these channels here. So we're going to clone. All right, now that we have these all clones, so this is the starting pattern that you want to start off with in order to make your sound. So we're going to go to piano roll and go ahead and start it up like so. All right, so now we're going to copy all of these to all the channels, and basically there's 5 of these little, patterns. Each of these is going to represent each channel, because we're going to do different things with each of these. we're gonna do different things with each of these. So, and that's why I made all those channels. So I'm gonna split these all up. So I know it looks weird, but this is gonna go down to up. So this is gonna be the bottom channel all the way through to the top channel on the bottom. So we're gonna erase this, all of these. All right, so we have them all separated now. And the next thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna automate all of these volumes. But the first ones we're gonna automate are this first one. The first ones we're gonna automate is the first one and the third one. The first one, we're gonna automate this to the RPMs controller, all right? So automate this to this, and the function we're gonna enter in that one is 0.81 input times 0.55. Bang. Automate, we're gonna automate this. Link this one to RPMs. The formula we're gonna use for this one is 0.03 plus input 0.5. Bang. Okay, we're gonna use that. All right, let's see how it sounds now. Yeah, so that sounds good, and you can work with that, but it sounds kind of flat. So, all right, and if you want, you can go ahead and pin this to the top, so that way you don't have to keep going in and out of the mixer track to keep opening this up. You can just, you can test your sounds as you go, as you're editing, right? So, okay, so here's where the magic happens. You can just leave it like this. But here's the thing, we're going for accuracy, right? So you're gonna have to do more to really get it to sound like a car. So we're gonna add some distortion filters. So we're gonna get our effector. All right, I'm gonna go to distort. For the X parameter, we're gonna set it to 18%, 18.36%. This one we're gonna automate. So we're gonna automate this to right here. Link to controller. Then we're gonna input. The formula we're gonna use is bang, right? Accept. Now, as the RPMs are going up, this thing goes up. Next thing we're gonna get is our frequency splitter. The low mid we're gonna set to 110 hertz. The mid high we're gonna set to 1945.6 hertz. Or, try to get it as close to that as you can. That's what it is in the original FLP. Just get it close. I got it 1964. That's good enough. I'm gonna leave this at 0. Set this to 4.3, negative 4.3 decibels. Negative 4.3 decibels. Then we're gonna set this to 0.6 decibels. Lows, we're gonna leave this alone. This one, we're gonna set it to negative 11.2 decibels. And then we're gonna leave this alone. So that's gonna be our frequency splitter. And now here comes the juice. Destructor distortion filter. All right. So now we're gonna just empty this. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add a distortion filter, and we're gonna use the Armor Soft Sat option. We're gonna set the asymmetry to 70% stereo, the dry mix to negative 35%. Set the preamp to 55%. And with these two, these are going to be automated. So don't worry about setting these up. We're gonna automate those. Next thing we're gonna do is speaker. We're gonna use the Model GH speaker right here. Set the stereo to 100%. Next, we're gonna do another speaker. We're gonna layer on another speaker on top of this. We're gonna use the Model KL speaker. We're gonna set this to 100%. Now, we're gonna automate this one, the wet volume, to controller Excel decel. The formula we're gonna use is 24 plus input .2. Bang. Accept. We're going to automate this one to our upshift surface. We're going to use formula 0.48 plus input times 0.52. Set it up like that. Bang. Now, this one we're gonna set this one to the upshift surface, upshift knob, 2.5. Accept. Bang. All right, so this is the distortion that we're gonna go with. You can turn off oversampling too. We're gonna layer on an EQ on top of all of this. Change the name. You don't have to change these names, but you can. It just helps you organize better. This is gonna be the Excel decel. I'm gonna just name it Excel AD for Excel decel. So this one we're gonna set to our Excel decel. Input 0.5. That's what we're gonna do with both of these last two right here. Delete the controller. Input Excel decel. Input 0.3. All right, now, it's set to controller. And then also, we're gonna automate this one right here. We're gonna link the controller, Excel decel, input 0.17 plus input times 0.33. There we go. That's our acceleration. Now we're going to layer on another pretty. We're going to layer on another EQ. All right. This one, we're not going to automate any of these. This is just going to be the overlay of the bass sound that you want. You can tune the harmonics a little bit to give you a more accurate sound, a little bit more accurate to the engine. So I have this at 62 Hertz, 61%. I have this one at 136 Hertz at 39%. I have this one at 239 Hertz at 39%. This one at 342 Hertz at 39%. Got this one at 1362 Hertz at 39%. I'm going to leave this one alone. I think that's that's the default setting, so I'm going to leave that alone. Got this one at 2897 Hertz at 39%. Yeah, just try to get it close. 2906, that's good enough. Then we have 5700 hertz for the last EQ module at 61%. All right, now we're going to actually automate this car driving down the road. So like I said in the previous video, the sound that I'm going for is as if you're behind the car in third person. Basically, like if you had like a drone behind the car in third person, following the car. I'm gonna draw the pattern in the first track and just copy it 700 million times. So you'll have an exhaust note to work with. All right, and then you can just collapse this layer because it doesn't really matter in this video. In this video, you don't really need to worry about this layer that much. Okay, now we're gonna make our acceleration. We'll name this RPM. RPM. I like to split mine up into different sections. So we'll start this off, and then from here on, we'll just make unique, right? Make unique. This is gonna be copy value. So we're gonna make, the next thing we're gonna do is our idle. So this is gonna be our idle right here. We're gonna automate these right here to this one. We're gonna link our second, our fourth pattern, or fifth pattern to upshift. And then for the second pattern, we're gonna use formula 0.53 minus input times 0.40. We're gonna automate this one. 0.3 plus input 0.5, like that. Accept. And then for this one, again, send it to upshift and 0.77 plus input times 0.23. There we go. You know what my dumbass forgot to do? I forgot to send these to, I didn't actually channel route none of these. How about that? All right, so channel route these. Now, let's see. So this is going to be, this is going to be this will be the idle, and then this will be, this will be the acceleration, essentially. And then while it's decelerating, you'll hear the difference in the tonation of the exhaust, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and automate these. We're gonna make I like to make them, all my automations together, and then cut them off so I can have a starting place, right? So of course it's gonna be idling. So make our automation. Gonna cut it. Okay. Then we're gonna make unique. I actually don't really like remove a snap filter on the track surface, because it makes everything too sloppy. I try to have it at 0.14, something tight, but you can still work with, you can still replicate. It's a lot easier with 1.4 instead of just making it completely free, and then the whole it's a lot more challenging. So this is a simulation of being on and off the gas pedal. All right, so this is what I got after simulating it accelerating at full speed. All right, so now I'm going to play the sound of an actual Dodge Charger SCATPACK. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead and support by liking the video and subbing to the channel. Yeah, if I get enough support, I'll keep going with this. I got much more sounds I'm going to do. I'm taking requests. If anyone wants to request a car engine that they want me to replicate, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll put it up. See y'all next time.